Our job here at the Reserve Bank is to serve the community. The Parliament of Australia has given the Reserve Bank some very important responsibilities, and it's our duty to promote the economic prosperity and welfare of the people of Australia, both now and into the future. We do this in many ways, including by setting monetary policy to maintain price stability and full employment, by contributing to the efficiency and stability of the payment system and the stability of the financial system, and by banking the Australian government and providing the nation's banknotes. Probably the thing we do that is most familiar to people is set the level of interest rates. This is known as monetary policy, where we change interest rates to try and smooth fluctuations in the economy. The interest rate we control is the cash rate, which is the rate that banks charge each other to borrow overnight. Now, this interest rate influences other interest rates in the economy, such as those charged on your loans or those you earn on your savings. Changes in interest rates influence people's decisions to buy things or to invest money, and they affect the exchange rate and the value of any assets that people might hold, such as homes or shares. All of this affects economic activity. In deciding where to set the cash rate, we want to keep inflation low and stable, averaging 2 to 3%. That's our inflation target, if you like. But we want to do it in a way that keeps the level of employment as high as possible. These outcomes are essential for a prosperous economy. There are many other things that we are responsible for as well. The Reserve Bank's also responsible for the stability of the financial system. We typically think of a stable financial system as one that's safe and helps money flow within the economy, even when there are disruptive events. We contribute to financial stability in a number of ways. One important way is by setting monetary policy that helps keep inflation low and stable and people fully employed. We also collaborate with other financial regulators, the Australian Prudential Regulation Authority, the Australian Securities and Investments Commission, and the Australian Treasury through the Council of Financial Regulators to identify risks in the financial system and to develop plans to address them if they arise. In extreme situations, we can also provide lending to financial institutions that are sound but experiencing difficulties with liquidity. Now, we also make and distribute Australia's banknotes. We have some of the highest quality and most secure banknotes in the world, and they use technology that we in Australia invented. The bank invented it with the CSIRO in the 1980s. Polymer, or if you like, plastic banknotes. We have a purpose-built banknote printing facility and vault in the outer suburbs of Melbourne. And it might surprise many people that despite the use of electronic payments increasing, there's still a lot of demand for banknotes, particularly as a store of value. We also operate the payment system that is at the centre of the movement of money in Australia. So when money goes from one bank to another, say when you pay a bill to someone who banks with a different bank, the money comes through the Reserve Bank. We are also constantly looking at innovations to provide Australians with the most efficient and secure ways to pay. For example, we worked with the banks to develop the new payments platform, which allows people to make payments in close to real time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we're also looking at how the nature of money and the payment system could evolve as technology changes. We're the banker for the Australian government as well. So when you get a Medicare refund or you pay your tax or you receive a refund, those transactions occur through the government's bank accounts here at the Reserve Bank. It's the same if you've ever needed a disaster relief payment or other support payment, perhaps during the COVID-19 pandemic, floods or bushfires. We know that many people rely on these payments, and we feel privileged to partner with the government in getting these vital payments to you quickly and reliably. There's a lot of research, analysis, innovation and supports required to deliver all these functions. We do all this with a bit over 1,500 people. Most of us are located here in Sydney, but we have a banking branch in Canberra and we have offices in Brisbane, Melbourne, Adelaide, Perth, Beijing, London and New York. We're the nation's central bank and we take our responsibilities to the Australian people very seriously.